We often think that our status or our presence comes from these big, dramatic actions. But what if it's actually much simpler than that? What if it's all in the little things you say every day? Today, we're going to look at 8 small changes to your vocabulary that can completely transform how people see you.
So let me ask you a question. When someone says, thank you, what's your go-to response? For most people, it's just, you're welcome, right? It's automatic, it's polite, sure, but it might just be a wasted opportunity to really make an impact.
And this right here is the big idea. Your words aren't just sounds. They're the tools you use to build your reputation, to define who you are in the minds of others. Every single word has weight.
So to really get why these phrases work so well, we need to understand the philosophy behind them. This isn't just about sounding smart. It's about a fundamental discipline of how you think and how you speak.
The ancient Stoics were all over this idea. They believed that if your words are sloppy, your mind is probably sloppy too. So by choosing our words carefully, we're not just communicating better, we're actually showing that we have self-control and clarity of thought.
Okay, let's get into the practical stuff. This first batch of phrases is all about a really powerful mental flip, turning moments where you might apologize into chances to show gratitude instead.
All right, back to that first scenario. Instead of the default, you're welcome, what if you said, it was my pleasure? Or if it's someone you're close to, you can always count on me. Can you feel that? The whole energy of the exchange just changes.
So here's what's happening under the surface. Your welcome can sometimes make your help seem like no big deal. But these other phrases, they frame your help as a conscious choice, a valuable gift you chose to give. It shows that your time is worth something.
Oh man, we've all been here, right? You're running late, you burst in, and the first thing you say is, sorry I'm late. But just look at this alternative. It completely reframes the entire situation.
See, instead of making the moment all about your mistake and your guilt, you immediately make it about them. You acknowledge their patience, their grace. You've turned a negative moment about you into a positive one that celebrates them.
All right, let's keep that momentum going. Our next set of phrases is all about projecting this quiet, unshakable confidence, and maybe even more importantly, a real sense of self-respect.
The word whatever. It just sounds so dismissive or like you just can't be bothered to make a decision. So next time someone asks your opinion, try this instead. You're still letting them decide, but you're doing it from a place of trust and strength.
This little switch is brilliant, really. It shows you're relaxed and easygoing, but it also communicates that you have confidence in their judgment. You're empowering them, which, by the way, is a total leadership move.
Think about it. How many times have you gotten a compliment and you immediately say, oh, this old thing, or it was nothing? We think we're being humble, but we're also kind of rejecting their gift. Instead, just accept it.
Because here's the thing, accepting a compliment gracefully isn't arrogant. It's a sign of self-respect. When you just say thank you, you're showing you believe you're worthy of the praise, and you're also validating the person who gave it to you.
Okay, this one's a little more specific. Imagine you've cooked a huge meal for friends, and someone says, wow, this is so much food. The natural instinct is to apologize, right? Oh, I know I made way too much. But try this phrase instead. When you apologize for being generous, you sort of taint the gift. You make it seem like a mistake. But when you say, you deserve to enjoy it, you're reinforcing that your generosity was intentional. It was all for them. Okay, for our last section, let's tackle 2 words that can make anyone feel a little weak. I don't know. But here's the secret. Admitting you don't have an answer doesn't have to be a weakness. In fact, it can be a huge strength.
So if someone asks you if you know how to do something for a job, saying I don't know can feel like a total dead end. But this alternative, it flips the script immediately. It's not about what you don't know, it's about what you're capable of.
And that's really the heart of it. Most of the time, people value a can-do attitude and a willingness to learn way more than they value someone who already knows everything. This phrase shows your potential, not your limitations.
But what if it's not a skill? What if someone asks you a question and you genuinely have no idea? Well, saying that just shuts the conversation down. But this phrase invites them back in.
It's like a little magic trick. You instantly go from being the person who's uninformed to the person who's curious and engaged. You've turned your lack of an answer into a shared exploration. It's brilliant. So when you pull back and look at all of these, you start to see the bigger picture, right? This isn't about memorizing a bunch of clever lines. It's about a whole new mindset of speaking with intention.
Let's just break it down to the essentials. Every single word you use is a choice that either builds your presence or diminishes it. The way you talk literally trains the world how to treat you. So when you master your words, you're really mastering the way people see you.
And that's really the question I want to leave you with. This isn't just theory, it's a toolkit. So looking back at these phrases, which one are you going to start with? Which one will be the first small change you make to reshape your world?